So let me start with, if you hadn't kind of ventured into media and beyond in your career, what do you think you might be doing?
Probably something businessy. Like, I did economics at uni, and I think if I hadn't managed to get into media stuff, I probably would have just gone, I'll just go and do something that my degree would lead me into. So I don't really know, but there was nothing. I was never really that into that sort of thing. I went to a few different work experience things when I was a kid, and all I learnt from each one was, God, I don't want to do that job. Like, I'd go and go to an accountant and go, no, I'm absolutely not doing that for a career and things like that. So I never really found much about what I wanted to do. So I probably would. The answer probably is some kind of businessy type thing. What I'd like to do now, if I had to do something different, I don't know. I mean, I like cooking, but I think the reality of being a chef is quite harsh. I think it's quite long hours. So I don't know what I'd do if I wasn't doing, if I wasn't doing anything media related. I don't really know.
Do you think if you could, because I know that obviously I've heard through Happy Hour particularly that you kind of make a lot of like sausage rolls. You invite the boys around for dinner sometimes and stuff. If it was maybe something that wasn't so every night churning out 70 meals for a high-end
Yeah.
restaurant, but more kind of as and when you feel, do you think that would maybe be where you'd
I
direct
think
yourself?
really my ideal job, now I think about it, probably would be house husband. I'd
Nice.
like I'd like a lot of people I know a lot of people say, oh, you wouldn't enjoy that thing, but I do. Just one of my favorite things is just making food for people and doing stuff. So I think I'd like to have a wealthy wife who who goes out to work, and then I make sure the house is nice for her when she comes back. Unfortunately, my wife works for a charity, so that's not happening anytime soon.
I'm actually right there with you though. Like I'm a fan of cooking, but not under pressure. And I
Yeah.
also like kind of being able to kind of spend a lot of time with the kids. And I think when so this is my first
Mm.
that's coming in October. And I'm going to be going kind of part time with work, and I am going to basically be taking up a slightly kind of house husbandy kind of role.
Yeah.
I'm actually really looking forward to it though, because I've been doing events for a few years now, and it's like it's a really nice change of pace.
Yeah, it is. I like it, and I've sort of my main reason, to be totally honest, for doing YouTube and stuff like that is to try and design a life where I can be at home as much as possible, because I know how brief a time you get with your kids, and I enjoy it so much, and that's why a lot of the decisions I make. That's why I'm doing. That's why I've been to karate, is because it's an extra couple hours a week I can spend with my two sons and stuff like that. So it's um, yeah, I'm just sort of trying to sort of tailor a life to where I don't have to do like for example, the YouTube channel's been doing quite well over the last year, sort of thing, and you can go, okay, well that's good. So there's more money coming in, and you could go, there's more money coming in, so um, I can if I keep doing more videos, then I'll make more money. Or you can sort of go, there's more money coming in, so I'll just do less stuff and have the same mediocre standard of living, but just not, but just do less of it, sort of thing, which isn't probably what it's not the art of the deal, is it? It's not what Donald
Yeah.
Trump would do. But
And
yeah.
your boys are Otto and Arlo, is that right?
Otto and Arla, yes. I've got three children. Kitty is 14, my daughter.
Oh,
Otto is 11 and Arla's 8.
lovely, lovely. I've got the youngest boy, and with ours is Otto as well. So
Oh,
uh,
nice.
we nearly called our one that's due in October, Arlo, and I actually had to mention that you have an Arlo, and I at some point wanted you on the podcast, so I can't really be like, Robbie, come on the
But they're
podcast,
good
but also
names, right? They're nice.
they
They're good
are
names. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. Okay, cool. So this one's a bit of a tough one to a degree, I guess, or it might be really easy. I don't really know. If you could place these three kind of careers in a kind of tier list in order, essentially, of what you prefer: TV production, podcasting, or being a YouTuber, where would they? Who would be at the top? Who would be at the bottom?
Um, I'd say top would probably be YouTube. The reason being, I have full control over it. and it does mean that there's no. I'm not. When you're doing other jobs, your life can be impacted by other people, sort of thing, who just don't want to do something or do something slightly different, or um, you're impacted by their relationships. Where if you're doing purely your own thing on YouTube, it means you can sort of just do what you want, and there's not going to be downsides to that. I love doing podcasty things. Um, uh, yeah, I really enjoy doing that, and it's nice because you're working with people as well, which is the other side of things. TV production, I enjoyed it a lot. The only things I really miss from Soccer AM are some of the people I work with, like working with Helen all the time and various others. But also, it sounds a bit weird, but there's a sort of, because the show's live like 40 odd weeks a year. There's sort of like a sort of buzz of a live TV show, like a sort of adrenaline rush of not being like, oh, I'm not ready, we can't do this now. Like, okay, at 9 o'clock the show starts, whether you're ready or not, and you have to be there. And it's got like hearing the sort of countdown to going on air in your ear was. Does that sound weird? It was quite sort of, there's a bit of a rush to it, sort of thing, I think.
I assume that it's probably akin to the live shows that you've done with Happy Hour and things like that. It's that kind of same, or for example, I'm a musician going on stage and
yeah.
perform.
But even with the Happy Hour shows, they'd say to you, "Are you ready?" Whereas no one was saying that on TV and stuff like that. So it is literally like, you got to do this now. So yeah, but yeah, that is I guess that's the closest I've come to. I think, yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. So we've mentioned kids and things like that, and I guess we've kind of touched on it. But my one of my questions was, how do you kind of balance your family life with the demands of content creation and things like that? But you've kind of answered it, to be fair.
Yeah, pretty well, I think. Like when I was quite busy than last year, my son has said to me, "Why are you?" I was going to London to do a podcast. He goes, "Oh, why are you always away?" And I'm like, "I'm so rarely away. Like I am." It's one thing I definitely am not. Is always away. Something. So pretty well. I think it's. And I appreciate I'm lucky, but I have designed it to be this way. But then it's tweaking it all the time. Like I found I've been doing a lot of videos away, and what would happen is I'd travel for a day, I'd film a video, and then I'd have a day traveling back. It's 3 days to do one video, and if you're trying to do a video every week or two, it gets quite hard. So in June, I went to Mexico for 5 days, and I recorded 4 videos, which was, it's a big chunk, and to be honest, I didn't particularly enjoy it because I was just away on my own. It then means, like starting this week, I've got 4 videos in a row coming out from Mexico, and so I just don't have to go away for ages, sort of thing, and can just be there. Because you've got to be realistic. I mean, most people have to be away from their families to do work, sort of thing. So it's I believe I'm lucky, but yeah, I just try and be at home as much as I can because it's. I mean, my daughter's. It feels like yesterday she was born, and she's 14 now. She'll probably move out in 4 years.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Finding that balance is, I guess, key, especially when you have 3 kids, and it's something that.
How do you find it?
Well, I very much started this for the exact same reason. I wanted to. So, I wasn't with my partner when I originally kind of started this back in 2021. But then when I brought it back round, I was, and she kind of supported me through it. And the idea was that I wanted to be able to. I want this to be successful. Obviously, everyone wants their podcast or their YouTube channel to be as successful as possible, but also to support me so that I can be at home with our kids and spend time with my family as much as possible. I'm struggling with that balance at the moment because I do have a full-time job at the moment still. But as I said, when the baby comes, that is going to naturally die down. And yes, I'll be spending a lot more time with the baby, but also there's going to be a moment where I'm going to be able to kind of focus a little bit harder on this. And we've got season 2 coming up, and it's already shaping up to be uh, bigger than I ever thought. Like the fact that we have had guests in season 1 with over 1 million followers on Instagram and things like that is mind blowing to me, and I'm so fortunate to be in this position, and it's just a lovely feeling.
It is mad when you think about things like that, isn't it? Like numbers, because they sort of just get used to it. Go, oh, that video's not done well. It's got so many views on it. But you think of the actual people involved in some of these things. You think what 1 million people is for that for someone. That's madness.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, yeah. I sometimes I get lost in it because like I think one of the earliest podcasts I did on this was with an American YouTuber called Joshua, and he's just like a sketch artist.
Right.
He's got, I think, 3 million on YouTube and 4 million on TikTok, and it was like he is the loveliest guy, and he's pushed the podcast so hard, and it's working with people like that have just made this such a joy for me. And yeah, sometimes you'll know this, you get people on guesting on your podcast, and they're not, they're there to hit their promo slot and crack on, especially some bands and things like that, and that's completely fair. Like that's what they're there to do. And then sometimes you just make that genuine connection, and it's just like, this is kind of what it's for.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice talking to people, isn't it? In general, sort of thing. And if you can find a way to do that for work, it's brilliant.
Exactly.